What is this junk popping up here? Okay. Welcome everybody on TikTok. That camera is super duper crooked, no? Yeah, for sure. All right, but it looks like everything is working. So welcome everyone on TikTok. If you could give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. It would be greatly appreciated. Welcome everybody on Instagram. Looks like we got a few people tuning in here as well. Same thing. If you can give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear me and see me all right before we go ahead and get started. And then here on YouTube is connected to Facebook through StreamYard. Vanessa says she can hear me and see me. All right, so it looks like we're good on all platforms. We're going to give this a second to let a few people tune in. In the meantime, I want you guys to welcome Cody, welcome Stella Marie. I want you guys to start posting. Now, I changed things up a little bit here. I was just going to be doing a live Q&A on the upcoming spiritual life coach training through Roots Revival Interfaith and the upcoming numerology course that I'll be teaching through Ivy League Psychic Academy. However, I realized, I never really do these Q&As, and I have 23 other classes and courses running, and I really should be doing a lot more. Okay, so I decided to just combine everything tonight, and we'll see how this goes. If it's too much, I'll change it up again next time. But I thought, hey, I'm sure you guys have questions on other classes, and there's no reason we need to just limit, all right, to the two that are upcoming. So I want you to start posting any questions that you have about any of the courses or classes. And also, if you have taken any of these courses or classes, if you want to post a testimonial on how your experience was, I would love to hear from you. So again, we're going to let everybody tune in here. I know I had a couple quick announcements, but I don't really feel like getting to them. Okay. Honestly, I'm just so tired tonight. So, I think what we're going to do is explain what's happening here with the two upcoming classes. I'm going to give you a list of all the other classes that are going on at the Academy and at Roots Revival Interfaith. And then you guys can get a better understanding of what we have here. Okay. Before we get into that, I do just want to say thank you to my YouTube members. So YouTube members allow me to create new shows and to buy new supplies when I need them. Like I had to get this new computer, I had to get this new camera in the last couple of weeks. And I appreciate you guys so much. So if you are not following me, subscribed on YouTube at Ask Ivy, but you're on one of my other platforms, I do ask that you get over here to YouTube. It is the most important platform I have for development. And it's also a lot safer because my account is not being mimicked, copied. It's not fraudulently being used to like con people out of money. Okay. Like all my other accounts are. On that note, I will never solicit a reading from you. I will never reach out to you and be like, hey, babe, give me $30 and I'll tell you what grandma has to say. That is never going to happen. It has never happened. Those are fake accounts. Please do report them, but it is happening on every single platform by the thousands, except for my YouTube channel. Okay. So YouTube at Ask Ivy. I want to say thank you to my members, Mary, Kat Kelly, Jordan, Lonnie Peterson, Yolanda Fisher, Audra, Erica Trotter, Angie Johnson, Robin Hartling, Chicken Mama, Tristan Marion, Edgar Velardes, Jennifer Cole, Jill Marie, Deanna Altieri, Vanessa, Me Love 716, Andrea M, Jan Phillips, Heather G. Also, if I am forgetting anyone, If you're new, I apologize. I will be checking the new YouTube member list, and your monthly horoscopes are about to go out for the upcoming month, and your monthly email reads are about to be answered. If members, you did not already turn in your monthly email reading, go ahead and do so at this time. And Jill, my beautiful producer, is going to be taking everyone's questions and comments today, and YouTube members do get moved up to the front of the line. All right. I honestly didn't know I had this many classes. So what are we going to be talking about tonight? All right, let's take a look. First of all, the two upcoming courses, trainings, and certifications are on spiritual life coaching. It's a training that comes with a certification through Roots Revival Interfaith. The next upcoming this is a course as well, is numerology. That's through Ivy League Psychic Academy. I am also in the process of creating the curriculum for death coaching, a death coaching course and certification through Roots Revival Interfaith. So you'll be able to go and assist, sort of like, not hospice because this is not clinical, sort of like a death doula would do, but far, far, far more in depth, and involving the family, okay, the other loved ones that are there, to keep the communication going with the person who's in the process of passing. So a death coaching in-depth course and certification is coming up. Now, you can ask about any of those, okay? I'm going to get into a greater description here in a minute on the spiritual life coach training and the numerology course, which is why we're doing this live Q&A tonight. But these are the other classes that are available up at, if you go to Ivy Rivera psychicmedium.com, you can go to Ivy League psychicacademy.com. We have the psychic mediumship course, tarot, astrology, reverendship ordination and training, Reiki levels 1 and 2, and then masters, hauntings, clearings, and detachments class, karma contracts and past lives class, and that comes along with 10 tips for improving your karma, relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class, coffee with your angels, meet your guides, empathic awareness. Empathic awareness training is something I've been teaching at universities and in public school systems. You can get the basic class, or you can check out the teacher training, which actually gets you teacher credits. There's one for empathic kids, and there's one for parents who have an empathic child. The psychic mediumship course master's class, now that's only available if you have already gotten certified through our program. You could take it if you want, but it's not going to make any sense to you unless you understand my PEC method. We have remote viewing. This is very common to be used in criminal investigations, missing persons, psychic mediumship, lost objects. We use this a lot in paranormal work, criminal investigations, missing persons, dreams class, intuitive kids, if you have an intuitive child. We also have intuition, myths, tools, and debunking. Another class is reaching the one, if you're looking for that one special love of your life. We have death coaching, which is really just a 2-hour basic training on death coaching. Orographs and colors, if you want to start giving orographs, learn how to read auras. We also have, nope, that was the last one. Orographs and colors. Oh my God. All right. So I've been busy the last decade creating all of these. Now, some of these are part of the psychic mediumship course. So if you take the psychic mediumship course, you're going to want to look at that curriculum and see if this is already included, because it's going to be required, but certainly not all of them. Okay. A lot of them are floating as individual classes. So again, I want you guys to post your questions and comments. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you have taken any of my classes. Please leave a testimonial in the feed here, and we're going to be popping up your questions one at a time. But real quick, before we get into that, let's start with the whole reason we actually decided to do this pop-up Q&A tonight. Spiritual life coach training and certification is coming up from March 21st to April 25th. This is a 6-week course. This is going to run from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And it runs $600 for the total course, but you don't have to do a pay in full. You can do a week by week, which breaks down to $100 a week. You will, when you're done, earn the certification and be up for hire if you want to work for Roots Revival Interfaith, Ivy Healing Call Center, Ivy League Psychic Academy, Ivy League Psychic Fairs. There's just a whole bunch of stuff always going on. So you will also be eligible for my spillover work, meaning different gigs that I just cannot get to. I automatically have you guys in a Facebook group page where any spillover work that I can't take goes onto that page. And you guys can grab up those jobs. So spiritual life coaching is available in person, online, and it will be available through video download once we're done. So every week, whatever we do in class is going to become available through video download. What are you doing in the spiritual life coaching? You're learning how to decipher what healing programs, roadmaps, advice, guidance you can give to your sitter, to the client, to the person seeking your guidance. You're going to learn how to decipher between issues that they're having. Is it past life? Is it maybe traumatic from this life? Is it programming, like toxic programming from generational curses, meaning their family? Or is it societal? Is it patriarchal? Is it capitalism? Are they out of alignment with their life path and their life contract? Do they not really know who they are? We don't want to say this, of course, to them. Okay, I'm going to teach you ethical code of conduct and the do's and do nots, of course. But is it that they're not really in touch with who they are? Is it that, again, they're not in touch with their life contracts? They don't really know what they're here to do. Is it that they're involved in toxic relationships? There are a million different reasons that people come in with problems, and they're either looking for validation that they are going in the right direction. They're looking to do more spiritual development or self-development. They're looking to get more in alignment with the universe, or they're feeling very, very stressed. They're feeling stuck. They're like in quicksand or like a mouse on a wheel, and they want your advice and guidance in how to get out of that. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to decipher what is going on. Now, a lot of people who are interested and are on the early bird list, and you don't have to get on the early bird list at this point because it's up on the website. You can register for this training now. But a lot of people who wanted it, they wanted it because they are already offering something like readings or Reiki. And they felt like Reiki was not enough and the readings were too much or overwhelming. It's almost like something is missing in between. And I understand what they're saying. There does always seem to be something missing in between. Like, we can't just have more frank conversations. Giving a reading is so like go, 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 go. It's so on point. It's so, I love it. I'm never going to stop doing it. I'll do it from my grave. Okay. No doubt. But I understand that sometimes people want to have more heart to hearts. And they want it to feel more like a counseling session or a discussion. Okay. And this is that. This is an opportunity also for the client, the sitter, to just express themselves. For example, when you come in to get a reading with me, you're not allowed to talk. I'm telling you what's coming through. And then you have time for questions. Okay. unless you only have questions you want to focus on. But you really, I don't let you just babble. I don't let you really express yourself. That's not what a reading is supposed to be. That's called conversational reading, okay, or fishing or dry reading. It's a place where a psychic or a medium could be fraudulent if you're giving them too much information. So we don't allow any of that. But in spiritual life coaching, the sitter, the client, is allowed to sort of just speak and vent and talk about what it is that they're going through. And then as the spiritual life coach, you're going to be able to listen to that and decipher what it is that they need to go forward and create the healing in their life that they need, the roadmap, to accomplish their goals going forward. You'll also know what other classes or additional development, will help them. You're also going to practice. So you're not just going to learn every week how to do this. You're also going to have hands-on practice with the public. So we're going to be bringing people in to sort of use as guinea pigs like we do in the psychic mediumship course. I'm always posting. I need guinea pigs to get free readings to volunteer from my students. We're going to use the same method with this. So you'll be practicing and you're going to be observed by myself. And I'm going to make sure that you leave and get your certification understanding fully what you're doing. Okay, what works, what doesn't work. We are also going to be looking at when it's time to outsource. Sometimes you have somebody coming to you and it is not for you to be working with them. And you have to know when to say, this is a clinical situation. That could be a tough call sometimes, but you say you need to go speak to a therapist. Or maybe you're having a mental health crisis. You are going to know when it's a paranormal problem. And I'm not going to be training you in how to deal with those things. Those are separate courses, and you could steer them over to me for a paranormal consultation if it is in fact that. That's very problematic. But you're going to learn when it is for you to advise and when it's for you to say, whoa, this is out of the scope of what I should be doing here. Okay. That will secure for you your, do's and do nots, your ethical code of conduct, and any potential lawsuits that could come from a situation like this. So I've got you covered on all bases, and I've been doing it for many years. Okay. So I know exactly where those lines are drawn. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I had to say about that class. So that one's starting soon, right? March 21st. Okay. Again, start posting your questions or comments. I'm going to take them in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about the numerology course. I have been wanting to teach this for a long time. Now, we've had a numerology class taught in the past. I think we've actually had several at the Ivy League Psychic Academy. But I personally have never taught it. I've always brought outside instructors in. Those classes have been amazing. We have a testimonial here from someone who actually took our numerology class. Jill, if you could pop that up on the screen. And this person also became an assistant teacher through the Ivy League Psychic Academy. So, Jill, are you able to pop that up? Oh, here we go. Okay, thank you. So, I'm blind as a bat. All right, let's see what's going on. So, this is Mary. So, Mary was a student, became an assistant teacher at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, and she took the numerology class and said, I just want to say that I took numerology through the Ivy League Psychic Academy years ago. I didn't know what to expect. It was just something I wanted to know more about prior to plunging into mediumship. It has completely opened my world to a view on the subject that I never had before, and it's still running deep. This is an ancient language that is closely tied to astrology, mediumship, spirit, and even tarot. This class is a must. It will completely change your perspective on the nature of numbers and how they play a role in your life. And if you really get interested, it will help you uncover mysteries in other lives too. This is a great class. Yes, 100%. Because a lot of, I call them numerology people, carry this language over from your previous lives. So if you are the type of but thank you, Mary, for that testimonial if you're watching. Anyways, she really summed it up. I mean, very just poetic from all points, with it being an ancient language to being far more meaningful and around you than you realize, how it's connected to things like astrology, tarot, the spirit world, mediumship. Yes, all of that. And, when we are watching these numbers come up, back to what I was saying a second ago, in your life through like lucky numbers or number patterns, you are a numerology person if you see these patterns, but mostly in like birth dates match death dates. And when new people come into your life, or you have a brand new experience or a huge level up, you're seeing these number patterns over and over and over again. You get a new telephone number and it's like, what? How are these numbers in here? That means you have been using this language in your previous lives. Anyone have this? You will start to notice there's no way this is a coincidence. And you start to see the sort of synergy, how synchronistic everything is. And because of numerology, the lost language of numerology, you may start to notice other things. Okay, like Mary said in her testimonial, like mediumship. Okay, like the fact that your ancestors or your loved ones, your spirit guides, your angels are coming through, showing you numbers all the time. There's always something flashing on the clock. There's always something on the license plate number in front of you, and how it's connected to your own life path and what you're supposed to be doing. And those would be more things like your own personal birthday, your lucky numbers, number patterns you watch for, okay, that may only really be connected to you. There's so much here, so much here. I could go on for a million years, and I plan to. So it's a 3-week course. This is going to run $35. Now, why is this one cheaper than every other class I do? Because you can Google a lot on numerology. You can even Google angel numbers. And not that I'm going to be using most of that information, but just because it is one of these things that's considered sort of like, intellectual property. It's just kind of out there. I just don't I just didn't know if people would pay, okay, like a higher price on it. But understand, this is no different than any of my other classes, meaning I have received this information on each number directly from spirit. I do teach on numbers in my psychic mediumship course, and it is part of my symbology book that's going to be coming out soon. So, this is special to the Ivy League Psychic Academy curriculum. And, we're not focusing a lot on a lot of the stuff you're going to see in Google under numerology, and probably not at all through angel numbers. Okay. So angel numbers, charming as they can be, and sometimes there is accuracy there. That's not really, that's something kind of airy fairy in my book. Looking at for 3 weeks, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, again, in person, online, or if you can't make it, through video download. That means that every time we finish a class, it will be available, hopefully that night, but typically within 24 hours, okay, for you to get. $35 a class, or whatever, I'll let you do the math on that, whatever the lump sum. So if you want to pay in full, you can. Registration is now open. It just went up on the website about an hour ago. Okay, so you can go register for that again, ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. Or my website, Ivy Rivera psychicmedium.com. This is going to go Thursdays, May 2nd, 9th, and the 16th. So we're going to be talking about the meanings, messages, symbology, direction, and patterns behind each number. And I'm going to be showing you specific examples in your life. We're going to go around to everybody in the group, okay? And we're going to be using through hands-on practice in your own life some examples. I want to make sure that you're not just getting educated on this. I want to make sure that you leave being able to use it. Almost like you're going to be able to give a reading to someone else, even if you want to, based on your knowledge of numbers, okay? Who it's coming from, why it's here, what it's telling you to do. what you can expect afterward, but even what happened beforehand that led into it. You're going to be able to show people how to use this even for themselves. So, ton of work opportunities, obviously, coming from this class as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking your questions and comments. And again, I don't have curriculum on this yet to announce, but the next course I'm going to be offering, brand new, is an in-depth death coach training and certification through Roots Revival Interfaith. And we already have a 2-hour training on death coaching. It's very, very basic, up on the website that you can take, or it is a required part of the curriculum in the psychic mediumship course. However, this one is going to allow you to work alongside hospice workers. It's sort of like doing death doula work, but far, far more in depth. And you're not just assisting the person who's passing, but you're also assisting the family. So, we'll be getting into that, but I'm probably going to keep that at ballpark like 4 weeks, and you will have hands-on training like always, okay, with the public. And yeah. All right. So what questions do we have? What do you guys want to know about? Okay, I see a bunch coming in. One more time, just for those of you who popped in late, these are the other classes because I changed up this Q&A so that you could ask about any classes that are offered. So the other ones are Psychic Mediumship course, Tarot, Astrology, Reverendship Ordination and Training, Reiki levels 1, 2, and Reiki Masters, Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments, Karma Contracts and Past Lives, which includes 10 tips for bettering your karma, Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting, Coffee with Your Angels, meaning how to meet your angels that are appointed to you, Meet Your Guides, meaning how to meet your 5 guides that are appointed to you. Empathic Awareness, this is trained in universities. I train people in public school systems. You could take, with Empathic Awareness, the basic course. You could also take the parent training for your child. There's an Empathic Kids class designed for kids. And because I train teachers, you can get teacher credits. Then we have the Psychic Mediumship course Master's class, Remote Viewing, Criminal Investigations, Missing Persons, if you want to work with the cops, private investigators, families, what have you. Where are all these lost women? Where are all these missing and Indigenous women? Let's go bring them home. The Dreams class, Intuitive Kids, Intuition, Myths, Tools, and Debunking, Reaching the One, if you're looking for the love of your life, Death Coaching, the basic course, and Auragraphs and Colors, if you want to learn how to read auras or give aurograph readings. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Yolanda Fisher says, hi, Ivy, which course requires that you take the Psychic Mediumship course prior to enrolling in the niche courses? Which courses require that you take the Psychic Mediumship courses? That would be the master class. It's not a requirement. When I said that, I meant that like you can take it, but you're not going to know what's going on. I kept it open to the public. These are all open to the public, but yes, there are some where you're going to be like, what? Okay. I can't really follow this, because my Psychic Mediumship course is not a play off of other people's trainings. There's no meditation involved. It's not, old dusty, crusty dinosaur techniques that have been regurgitated. Okay. It is all handed down to me directly from spirit, and I accumulated the wisdom over my entire lifespan. So, 44 years of understanding how the lost language works. So it's called the PEC method, the Psychology of Energy Communication method. And if you don't know the method, you're not really going to understand what we're talking about in the master's class. So I would say that one, Psychic Mediumship course master's class, I would highly recommend you take, Psychic Mediumship course before that. Again, you don't have to. What else? I guess I would really say that's probably it. Jill, my beautiful producer, is also an assistant teacher at the academy. If I'm forgetting about something, Jill, let me know. Jill's taken over a lot of my workload. She's head assistant teacher. So Yeah, Jill, just pop in if I'm forgetting about something. But yeah, that's a great question, Yolanda. Are there any courses or classes that really aren't going to make any sense, if you didn't take the psychic mediumship course? What is it a prerequisite for? Probably just that. All right, thank you so much. And there are so many classes that are part of the psychic mediumship course. So you are going to, let me just go off on a tangent real quick. If you're debating on taking the 28-week Tier 2 certification psychic mediumship course, you are also going to be taking empathic awareness, coffee with your angels, hauntings, clearings, and detachments, meet your guides. You're going to be doing Orographs Day, colors. You're going to be doing the symbology, dreams class, karma contracts, past lives, relationships, boundaries, cord cutting. I think that's it. All right, so there's just a bunch of stuff you're going to have to take. All right, so let's see. I see Stella Marie, and I see, okay, Danny Spoons. So Danny Spoons is here on TikTok. Hi, everybody on TikTok. Please tap that screen. Give this video a thumbs up and do share it. So Danny Spoons on TikTok says, empathic awareness was huge for me. Ivy's class taught me so much about myself. I highly recommend. Thank you so much, Danny. So yeah, what happens with empathic awareness is that you learn what level out of the 4 levels of empathic ability you are. You learn about the disabilities or possible misdiagnoses that you could end up with. Okay, if you don't learn how to manage your empathic ability, and then I teach you how to control it and how to use it for the greater good. So as an empath, you're an energy manipulator. Okay. You're a healer, but you could also develop a lot of disorders like ADD, OCD, a lot of mental instability or emotional meltdowns, constant migraines, irritable bowel syndrome, blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's a ton. And when you get involved in group dynamics, like you have to go shopping, you have to go to work, you want to go to a party, a family event, it becomes overwhelming and you can't block it out. So I train you in how to identify all of that. And also, again, how to control it. So it's a 2-hour training and it is absolutely life-changing. Thank you so much for that feedback. Stella Marie says, I'm definitely interested in numerology and death coaching. I am a hospice nurse. So I love that you bring up hospice because a lot of what I've included in the death coaching, whether you go for the basic 2-hour class or you do the full training that I said, I'm still designing. That'll be the next thing that I come out with where you can get certified in it. I learned so much about death coaching from an experience I had where, God bless her, my aunt was passing away and it took a really long time. It took like 8 weeks longer than what we thought. And so hospice was there the entire time. So Stella Marie, the things you guys talk about in hospice and what you recommend from that pamphlet that you give that says like, let your loved one know that it's okay for them to go, that we'll take care of ourselves, that this is time for them to focus on them. It helps them to release, because even if the morphine and stuff isn't working, it's a sign that maybe somebody needs to say that to them. There were so many things that I learned anyways from hospice. And shortly after that experience, there was a sort of uptick in like these death coaching nurses that were coming in that were sort of like a little bit more spiritual than hospice. And that phased out. And we didn't have anything for years here in America anyways. I don't know what was going on in the rest of the world, but I didn't hear anything about it. And then death doulas started to come back. Well, by that time I had already created death coaching, which, is really, again, going to help you to bridge the gap between the person who's crossing and the family members of the loved ones that are going to remain here in communication. And so you're going to be taught a lot of mediumistic skills to be able to do that. And it also you may want to look at doing something like death coaching to go in alignment with the reverendship ordination and training through Roots to Revival Interfaith, because with the reverendship ordination and training, you are able to marry, bury, baptize. We are a federally recognized church and religion now. And so when I give you the ordination, you are also able to, do things like be on the scene or do last rites. So if someone, heaven forbid, there should be a terrible accident or someone's passing away, you can be there as the reverend on that scene. The only other people allowed are the cops, the EMTs, the firefighters, and you. But you can also go and be at someone's bedside. I mean, you're a reverend, so anyways, these things are definitely connected, one thing at a time. But the death coaching, just to clarify, course and certification training is going to be through Roots Revival Interfaith. All right, let's see if we have any other questions or comments coming in here. Geraldine G, this is on Instagram. Welcome. So happy to see Instagram finally functioning. It's a real hit or miss over there. So I'm happy to see you guys. She said, your astrology class was amazing. Heck yeah, it's amazing. Okay. I've actually taken it 3 different times myself because I'm obsessed with astrology. I've been studying astrology on my own since I was about 15. If you guys remember back in the 90s, we had this big, thick Bible of a book called The Best Astrology Book Ever. Well, I don't know how the heck anybody could read that thing. I mean, astrologers study for 25 plus years, most of them. Okay. And it was like, I love that book, but you could only go so far. You just don't understand all the math behind it. It is so, so, so complex. And it's like layers of an onion. There's always something else, always something else. So I took the astrology course. I've only ever had one astrologer teaching here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, and that is my dear friend. She was also a psychic mediumship student, is how I met her. And astrologer. She's also my tarot reader, Christina Del Rey. So Christina Del Rey, she's also one of our reverends here at Roots Revival Interfaith. So if you watch church service, you know Christina well. Christina, the astrology class is called Astrology Basics. That's the one we're offering right now. And it looks at the big 3. So your sun, your moon, and your rising. And every time she teaches a class, she brings in something more, which is why I get hooked. I just keep going back for more. But this one is really life-changing because if you don't understand your basic 3, the big 3, right? You really don't understand anything. And what a lot of people are doing with astrology is they're coming at it from such a shallow level and they're not really fully understanding why a lot of things seem hit or miss, because maybe they only know about their sun sign. They also aren't figuring out why they're not in relationship dynamics, for example, like in love and romance, it's not working for them. You really have to understand your big 3. Okay. So with this class that she teaches, you're going to be able to start even, okay, giving readings for other people. And, I just can't even, I can't even express to you guys how sometimes you're looking at your sun sign and you're like, this just is a miss. I don't know why. I just don't feel compatible with this. And it's very possible that like your sun sign is on a cusp. Okay, mine is. So I'm half Gemini, half Cancer, for example. But until I really fully understood my moon, which is how I feel, it's how I connect to people. It's how I feel loved. This is how I understand who I'm going to be romantically attracted to. And then I understood my rising sign, which is how the world sees me, right? How I represent. It's sort of the meat and potatoes of who you are. This is how you make your money. This is how you move in the universe. Until I understood those things, I really had no clue. No wonder I was so lost and things felt off base. Okay, so get your basic 3 Astrology Basics class. This is actually a course. It's a few weeks long. And that's with Christina Del Rey again. All right. Thank you for that comment. Do we have any other questions or comments coming in? Okay. I'm trying to move this and trying not to disconnect the entire thing. All right. Let me see if I saw anything. Oh, Stella Marie says she just started the psychic mediumship course. Awesome. Okay, and on that note, you guys have 2 different tiers for the psychic mediumship course. Okay, so I like to say 2 different pathways to learning. Okay, and it is a pay as you go. It never used to be. You used to have to pay in like larger chunks, but with the, the recession and everything going the way it is, I've made this an option so you could pay. And then you get the classes as you drop your payment. You're going at your own pace. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. You're going at your own pace. It is evergreen, but you will also be able to join with your other classmates through the Google chat and through the live Q&As. Now I do those live Q&As. So you're getting like one every, I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks. And I take all your questions and we just do a lot of, one-on-one time. You are also working directly with the assistant teachers and the public to learn how to give readings. That's if you take tier 2. So tier 2 is 28 weeks. You get certified and then you are up for hire at Ivy League Psychic Fairs, Ivy's Healing Call Center. For my spillover work, you are officially certified. That is if you pass the certification. It's not a guarantee. It's not like you just take the course and then it's a guarantee that you get it. You have to actually, you go through two different assessments. You're going to go through a 15-minute assessment when you're about midway through the course. Then you're going to go through a 30-minute assessment. Okay. And so if you're ready, you're ready. And most people are. But, something to keep in mind. It is a lot of hard work. So you want to be ready to invest. But then there is the tier 1 pathway to learning. And so tier 1 is the 10-week video download. Now, a lot of people get, about midway through tier 1 and they're like, I really want the whole thing, and can this apply? Can you just knock off a couple classes because I took this? No, they are 2 totally different things. Tier 1 is just to give you some basics on knowledge and education. You're not working with teachers. You're not working with me. Obviously, I'm teaching the class, but it's through, it's all through video download. You don't get the live Q&A. You don't get the chat with your fellow students. It's nothing like that. It's just basic info. It is incredibly, incredibly valuable. But it may be like a precursor to, getting invested in the real deal, the 28-week course. And no, nothing really, some of the lessons are going to transfer, of course, but only within the framework of the 28-week course. So you would have to take them over again, because the full course entails so many other things. It's just in depth. Okay. We have another question or comment coming in here from Jill, and this is on Instagram. So happy to see Instagram working here tonight. Jill says, Reiki class changed my life. It was easy to follow, hands-on practice, and really helped me understand energy work. Yes. So a big thing, thank you, Jill. Big thing with the Reiki training, and I am going to be moving the Reiki training from the Ivy League Psychic Academy over to Roots Revival Interfaith here soon and doing some changes and additions to it. But the Reiki training is, very easy to understand. I really break it down so that it isn't this very intensive training. Now, I know some people are doing like weeks and weeks of training and they're charging you, $600, $850, $1,200. That's nutso to me. Okay. Just absolutely crazy. I believe our course is like $250, $300, something like that. You're getting trained in a ballpark of 5 hours. And we're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces so that you're not being so pressured to get things like it's, Japanese symbology, right? You're learning really how to work with the energy also because we believe in bringing back the intuitive method, which is how Reiki was always meant to be trained. Traditionally, you were supposed to be working with spirit, while you were giving it. You're also able to, oh, there was something else I wanted to say about it. Whatever, it'll come back to me. But also, I bring in psychic surgery, and I haven't seen anyone internationally offer Reiki alongside psychic surgery. So a big problem with Reiki is that a lot of people are doing energy work and they don't understand why they're exhausted. They're sick. They're developing health problems. And that is because they don't understand energy absorption, like my empathic awareness class talks about. If you don't understand accidental energy absorption, absorption. You could go out as a Reiki practitioner and you're hearing all your other Reiki practitioners say, this makes me feel amazing. Every time I do it, I feel high. I feel like I'm on a cloud. It heals me when I give it. And oh, I love it so much and I could do it endlessly. You give Reiki and you feel like trash. Okay. You're like Oscar the Grouch for 3 days. You're like, what the hell went wrong with me? And it's like, you're good at it, but you don't, and people keep coming back for it, but you don't understand why you do not feel good giving it, because you're accidentally over absorbing other people's energy. Now, why does that happen? Because you're so good at it, you're accidentally leaning into psychic surgery. Okay. So when I started healing people actually physically, I was removing disease, breast implants that were leaking and deathly, people with Tourette's, people dealing with things like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, chronic migraines, cancerous conditions, healing joints. Okay. So people could like walk again, helping people to avoid surgeries. Now that's not always a guarantee that that's going to happen, but the majority of the time it was. So I learned how to start healing people's bodies through psychic surgery. Okay. Which is going in and actually removing things or healing things directly. I didn't learn Reiki until years after. And I was like, whoa, these are two totally different things. But I was always problematically doing both just to get people the healing they need. So they would book a Reiki session and I was doing both. And when my students started to come in to get Reiki certified, I was like, wow, I'm not the only one who's doing this. Okay. This is why half or more of you are not enjoying giving Reiki. Because it is a drain if you don't have your boundaries set. Okay. So you're going to get trained in both. And with the Reiki, it is the Usui Ryoho method, the traditional as well as the intuitive. So lots happening with Reiki. Love it. Love it. And these days, once COVID hit, we do so much long distance. You could do it on animals. We cover that in the course. Do we have any other questions or comments coming in? If you guys are watching this later, once this is published, go ahead and, post your questions. I'm going to check this for a couple weeks just to see if there are any follow-up questions. And you can always message anytime. And one of my assistants will help you out. So you could just go right to the business phone listed on the website and drop your questions about courses. We're more than happy to help you figure out, what the right fit is for you. Again, thank you for the hearts on TikTok. All right, looks like we are at time. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, the next 2 upcoming trainings that are up on the website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com, spiritual life coach training and certification, and the numerology course. I hope to see you, and it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm absolutely obsessed. Okay. Looking forward to doing some fresh material here. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks so much, Jill.